Oh yeah, running this town. It's your hostess Anna Valencia with the Vero Insider, telling you where to go, what to try, and how to give back in Indian River County. And I have some fantastic guests with me in the studio. Some of my favorite people, I have to admit. We have the professor sitting beside me, who brings delicious gifts, of course, from Blue Star Wine Bar. Welcome back, Professor.
Thank you.
Always happy to have you here.
I'm always happy to be here too.
And then beside him is the lovely Vicky Wild, Executive Director of Keep Indian River Beautiful and the Heedy Award recipient, compliments of Gerard Equipment, for the month of March. Welcome, darling.
Thank you, and thank you for the award.
Well, it's really my pleasure, of course. It's an interesting application process, but when I saw the word recycled materials and marionettes all in one sentence, how could a girl say no? Honestly, you can't. You just can't. So before we kind of talk about everything that's going on upcoming at the Vero Beach Museum, which is an interesting collaboration between Keep Indian River Beautiful and the museum itself, let's talk about this delicious half naked, no, she's definitely naked. She's gorgeous naked silhouette on the bottle of the other.
That's an eye capturer for sure.
Hello, I would like the naked lady by the glass, please.
Well, what's inside the bottle is just as delicious as what's on the bottle.
I couldn't agree more, and it's like aroma is intoxicating. It's so fruit forward, but it's not sweet.
No, not at all. More fruity rather than sweet.
Absolutely. And you said that this is a blend. It's coming out of Lodi.
Yep, they ferment each varietal exclusively by themselves and blend it afterwards to let the characteristics of each varietal really shine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's a different way of coming across it and approaching the blending technique.
Definitely. They're doing something a little different.
Uh-huh. And they're referred to as the other because...
They put the other blending component in this is Syrah, and also because they're one of the lesser known appellations in California, aside from Napa and some of the other well known ones.
Oh, for sure. You've got some big regions out there, and I know Lodi, for example, does a great zin too. It's just where they are geographically within the state that they sort of are able to do that. Let me just end it. Oh, so a couple weeks ago, Professor, you were telling us about like big bottles and if they have a deep punt,
yes,
that it's a higher end wine. This is a heavy bottle and a deep punt, people. The other is very gorgeous. Indeed.
Is it? I haven't even checked.
Yeah, that's what happens when you feel around a little bit. You get all sorts of surprises, something like that. What do you think, Vicky? Isn't that yummy?
It is, and usually I'm afraid of reds because they're usually so strong, but this is nice and sweet and
yeah, it's very
calm.
approachable.
Yeah.
These two that I brought in today, they're a lot more palatable than other bigger wines like just straight up Shiraz or Cabernet Sauvignon. These blends are really easily drinkable and appealing to wine drinkers across the whole spectrum.
I agree, and this is available obviously by the bottle. This is a good pairing wine too. So much of the items there at Blue Star would go nice with this.
It really would. It's not too far on either side of the spectrum. It's just really well balanced, smooth drink, and you can pair it just about anything: fish or chicken pot pie or pizza.
Oh gosh, I am such a sucker for Kitty's Pizza over there. It's like on a flatbread with the pesto. Me and pesto were like best friends.
Definitely one of my favorite
Hello.
items over there.
What is the ham that's on top?
Oh, prosciutto.
Right. I got that wrong this weekend. I said
no.
something else. What's the other ham?
Capicole or Somerset.
Yeah, something like that. I made a mistake. But either way, it's
That's
tasty.
right. I'm sure they forgave you.
They always do. Thank God. So it says tastefully seductive and sensationally delicious.
Some nice cedar aromas in the nose.
So the two names of these wines are again?
Well, we haven't got to the other one because we were about, the professor and I decided on Saturday night at Blue Star, which had their rooftop concert series in full swing.
Great turnout despite the cold weather.
It was chilly.
There's some troopers out there.
I'm telling die-hard Blue Star fans, what's up? But we decided that we're going to put Australia back on the map. Because they've sort of fallen off the wine list, especially locally. And so we're hoping to be able to give them a little comeback, a little shout out, see if we can't make a change.
I hope so. It's one of my favorites.
I agree. They're always like real jammy. And so, if when you're in the mood, especially this colder weather, the jammy wines are like calling for me.
Absolutely. Drink it while that weather's here because it won't be long before spring comes.
That's right. And then we have to move on to like my world of rosés again. But yeah, so hey, before we go on to the next topic, Gerard Equipment. We love Gerard Equipment. Yes,
Absolutely.
Tim Gerard, the creator of the Heedy Award, of course, and also the brilliant man who gave me a job as his marketing director, had me create this new game wheel that I'll be taking around to the different trade shows, both domestically and internationally, which is going to be a lot of fun. So it's sort of like a little Vanna White component, but when you do like the spin wheel, each one lands on a different prize. So I was trying to think like what would be something really great that people wanted to keep and take with them. And being the wine lover I am, I decided that a wine key was very practical. And so now Gerard Equipment has their own wine key, and it's pretty fancy, and it's the good one. Like, hello, this is a nice one.
Wow, look at that one.
That's what I'm saying. Isn't it like high-end? What do you think? My producer's giving me the nod. She's like, this is impressive. That's right, folks. Impressive. All right, so we're going to try the other by the glass at at Blue Star Wine Bar. Can you believe I just did it? Never let that happen again. And while we're doing that, we're going to be kind of driving by the Vero Beach Art Museum, and we are going to be discovering this very interesting exhibit that is going to be collaborating with Keep Indian River Beautiful. So, Vicki, can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Well, the museum had, I had met with their marketing director, and then they had their youth coordinator there who, after school, the kids from, I think it was age 12 to 18, come in and they do crafts after school at the art museum. And so they have this known artist, he makes recycled dreams, Pablo Casano, and he makes marionettes, these big like puppets and stuff out of recycled materials. So they thought it'd be a great idea to have the kids also make puppets and display it in the museum and then do it for their art show. And since I run a reuse exchange center where I have recycled materials, everything in my store is recycled.
Right there at the mall.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They come, so I'm bringing them they're going to do probably a field trip at my store and pick out what they want and then make the puppets out of stuff with Keep Indian River Beautiful.
That is so
Yeah.
great.
Sounds like a match made in heaven.
Right? That is a perfect combination. And so these kids, they're older kids,
Mm-hmm.
and that's definitely always a concept that Gerard Equipment embraces for the Heedy Award, from toddlers to teens. But it's really nice because these kids, from the ages of 14 to 18, they have the capability to really view art much differently than the younger children.
Correct.
So I am incredibly interested to see what they are able to come up with. And this is something that's going to run, the exhibit runs daily, right?
Right.
February 16th through May 26th. So we get to keep them for a little while.
Right.
And then there's going to be a scheduled performance on Sunday, April 7th. And so I take it that's with the artist himself.
Yeah, and they're going to, I think April 7th is when they're doing the art show in the Riverside Park.
Oh, I see. Oh, I wonder if they're going to actually display and use the marionettes.
I know that the kids are making theirs. They had a big display that they had made. It's like 6 feet tall, and they're going to make their marionettes, and it's going to be displayed there in the museum and then at the show as well.
That is so fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then it says that obviously that this is a great way to educate the youth of our area about art and its history, but this also follows the school's STEM program, Science, Teach, Environment, and Math. So it's something that they're able to kind of collaborate all of those facets together.
Correct.
With these older kids. That's really genius. And so now this is going to be happening with the kids as far as their performance and their display is not till April 27th.
Correct.
So we've got a little bit, they have time to create
Correct.
their pieces.
Right.
Oh, and so are we going to be able to somehow like participate in like watching them create it at some point?
Sure, you can go with me and help them.
See how she roped me into that volunteerism?
And
That's how we
Yes,
give back in
there
Indian
is.
River County, says the Vero Insider with Vicki Wild.
And they're creating them down at the art museum.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Now the art lab program, I suppose that I'm going to have to put some of this information on the website at theveroinsider.com because I'm sure people would want to know how to enlist their children in this after-school program. What a great, if you have an artistic child, what a great place to put them with
Right.
other like-minded individuals.
Right. They're not just sitting at home watching TV or playing Xbox or they're
Right.
actually creating something and using their
So
brain. It's
fascinating.
nice.
Right, yeah, like let's do that a little bit more, shall we, children?
Yes.
I think we could use
Mhm.
that.
Yeah. Now tell us about Keep Indian River Beautiful because really throughout the past year, or 2 years really, Vicki, you've made some huge leaps and bounds. I know I just went to the Youth Sailing Foundation's event this past weekend. It was out at the marina, and I saw all your fish bait
The bait
butt,
tanks.
the bait tanks.
Yeah.
So it's like where you dispose your cigarette butts and they don't go into the water and harm our fish, right?
Yep. We have 11 of them throughout the city of Vero Beach. They're on our beaches and on our boardwalks, and you'll see it's like a silver box, and it has a fin on it. It says, "Save some fish, feed me butts," and you put your cigarette butts in his gills, and it says how many fish's lives you saved on the side. It has like a meter reader, so it's kind of cool.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a subtle difference. So you actually won, though, like third place in the country for the cigarette litter
Yes,
prevention
nationwide I
program.
won
Wow.
the third. I won third place in the nationwide for my cigarette litter, which now I have to come up with a new idea. So because that's coming up again.
It's going to be tough to top that one.
Right. Well, good thing.
I'm thinking marinas, or boat ramps or something may need them.
Oh, okay. We're gonna probably have to discuss that at the next board meeting for the
Mhm.
record.
Mm-hmm.
I love me some keeping your river beautiful. Now, also one of the things that you have upcoming, and really something I hope to get all of my sponsors for the Vero Insider together and participating in, is that we have the Great American Cleanup coming up.
Yes.
That's a big deal,
Yes.
and everyone just pitch in a little bit, and it makes literally a world of difference.
Yes. We have the Great American Cleanup, which runs March, April, and May. And so anybody who wants to do a cleanup, they can call me at Curb. The number is 772-226-7738. And I will give them their supplies, everything that they need to do the cleanup. They can go clean up, the beach or wherever they want to do. And then they just give me back their numbers. I need to know how many volunteers, how many hours, how much they collected, that kind of thing. And then we also have the Day of Service coming up, so we're planning a big event for that on April 27th, where we have volunteers from all over Indian River County that come in and clean up one big area.
Wow, so the volunteers can actually select the spot maybe that's closest to them?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh, I like it.
Very
I like it
nice.
so much.
Mhm.
And then afterwards, go drink some wine at Blue Star.
Yeah, of
There
course.
you go.
Or during it. I don't care.
Exactly.
Whatever makes a difference. All right, everyone, don't go anywhere. We're going to be sipping on some Australia in our glass when we get back, folks.